What's up, peoples? How we doing? We are here on another Sunday. What's up, Yanti, Magic, all the other peoples out there in internet land? Trashman and Sadiq will be here at some point. Sadiq's been held up at work, and we'll try and get back, obviously, when he gets back. And Trash is on his way. Got a message in the Discord that he is on his way. They will make it when they make it. First things first, couple of announcements. As of end of stream tonight, Discord server will be no more. I'm deleting Evldoa Discord server and switching fully over to Gilded. So moving forward, all information and bits and pieces about all my content will be on Gilded. So if you're not a member there's a button in the description below that's in the, there is a exclamation point Gilded command now instead of a Discord one. And moving forward, all information pertaining to D&D, mini adventures, the Vampire Masquerade, all that sort of stuff is over there. There's a group over there for that content. So make sure that if you want to be involved in any of that stuff moving forward, that you are over on the Gilded, because that's where all the information will be. What else did I want to say? That's about it, really. Vampire Masquerade, speaking of which, the first episode of Season 3 on the 5th of June. So we've got 3 weeks, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll be starting Season 3 of Vampire Masquerade. So players and storyteller, we will need to catch up at some time before then to do a bit of a recap and refresh our memories of what happened at the end of last season, so we can get prepared for next season. So we've got 3 weeks for that. Obviously, like I said, all the information will be in the Gilded server. There's a group there. You all have permission to see it already. Again, I think the only one that's not over there is Miss Yanti. So you will need to join the Gilded at some point. Because that's where the information is going to be moving forward. Because the Discord server will be no more. JJ with the resub Prime Gaming, thank you very much. 12 months. Let's get some hype in there. Speaking of subs, actually, the other quick announcement we got. End of my last stream, we had a very generous gifting of subs. So many of you may find yourself subbed at the moment. Sticks and Stones dropping 25 gifted subs on the channel, which gave us our next emote. So we now have an animated raid emote, and I'm working on another fixed emote for the subs in the channel. So when we do raid, if you are subbed, have a look in the in there somewhere. You should find this little guy, and we have our raid emote, which is super cool, courtesy of Mr. Dill Cripple, who's created that for me. So, I think we've stalled about as long as I'm going to be able to. We will get into the recap for tonight, and we'll just catch up Trash and Sadiq when they get here. Alrighty. Bring some Moosack up there. If they if they die, they die. Thanks, Nutty. You're so kind. I don't think they'll die straight away, because we'll hang them at the back if anything happens. Anywho, last we left off, you had entered the Bastion of X grounds and searched around the outbuildings, where you had found an old barn with a new lock and some repairs, which led you to believe that it was currently occupied or had been occupied recently. After picking the lock, courtesy of LV, you entered the barn. The floor, not being as sturdy in some places, broke under Tobias' feet, causing a little bit of pain, but not too badly. But you managed to navigate the rest of the rotting timbers and found a door to a sub-basement or cellar of sorts at the far end of this particular barn. Beneath the barn, you found yourselves in a natural cavern of sorts. In the distance, you could see the flickering of torches, and you could hear the sounds of someone talking to seemingly to themselves at some point. You attracted the attention of a large deformed ogre. Whether it was on purpose or by mistake, doesn't really matter. You ended up defeating said ogre, with LV refusing to land the killing blow in this particular battle. Eventually Tolvir giving the order that he was able to in the future. You then treated deeper into the lair of this particular cultist. You found a statue pertaining to a blood hunter order from long ago. It seems the cultists have taken up shop in this particular hideout that was once used. And that's pretty much where we'll rejoin you guys as you continue your journey in the undercroft of Bastion of Ek. Now, you had just come up to a hallway in which Tolvir, you'd heard footsteps coming in your direction. You couldn't see anybody at this point because I believe you hadn't poked your head around the corner. You just heard the footsteps. So I'll leave it up to you what you're going to do at this point. So you can hear these footsteps walking towards you slowly. And I'd say with your knowledge, you would understand that whoever this is, they're walking slowly because they've heard something and that they're cautious. So they're not charging down the hallway. They're not walking briskly. It's a very methodical sort of stepping. Very slow, very, very deliberate.
Tolvir would sort of hold up his hand and just sort of whisper, "Stop, I hear something coming." I don't know if my mic's too far away.
Are you good?
And then hopefully the party would wait. And Tolvir would be ready to grab somebody if they came out from wherever it was.
Okay. So you just hold and wait. I would say, actually, everyone give me a stealth check at this point. Just to see, this is purely for sound, because you're just holding and waiting.
Gilly got a 9. She's crashed in the back of, yeah, my brain's just done it.
In the back of Uth there. Uth wasn't much better.
Probably Gilly's
So, everyone, I mean, as a group, you're not too bad. So, Dilly, you probably, as Tolby's held his hand up and sort of turned and said something, Uth has just stopped suddenly and you sort of walked into the back of him. I mean, he's not wearing, like, extremely noisy armor anyway, so you wouldn't have made too much noise. But you wait and you listen. And Tolvir, you hear those footsteps get closer, and you sort of, he hasn't seen you. He stops about there. You can just make out the edge, maybe the cloak on his right shoulder. He sort of stops and sort of, you can hear him, or you can't really hear him, but you get the impression he stopped and he's listening intently. You hear him sort of shift and turn, and he starts walking back slowly out of view.
As I hear him walking away, I'm sort of going to stick my head around the corner to see if we can see him.
Okay, so you move yourself out into the corner. He's got his back to you, so if you just want to poke your head around the corner, just move your token out one so you can see, and then you can. Ah, shit. There you go. So you can see, and you can move back if you want to. Now you can see what you can see. So pretty much what you see is exactly what's there. You poke your head around the corner and you see one robed individual who's walking back towards the position he is now, and you see at the other end of the hallway, you can see another one, looks like he's seated back against the wall.
Alrighty.
Roll a perception check for me as well, Tolvier. You'd be probably the only one that could probably hear this, in fact. If you get... Yeah, no, you can just hear it. You can hear the slight mumblings. Seems like it's coming... to you, it's coming from the direction in front of you. You can't tell whether it's maybe from this this room here or this room here, but it's definitely in front of you, and it's just a real slight sort of mumbling, like a continual mumble. It's barely audible.
Tolby is going to reach out into his pack. He's going to pull out his dice set, and he's going to grab one of the dice and just roll it across the floor.
Okay.
Like sort of intentionally trying to make a
trying to make a noise. Okay, give me a second. Let's roll a couple of rolls here. And yes, you are meant to see this, by the way, guys. Just in case you're wondering. So, you roll your dice and it hits the wall, clatters against the ground. The mumbling you hear stops. And then you notice shadows under this door. It's like barely, like maybe a 5 or 10 mil gap under the door, but it's well lit. You see a shadow move behind, so like feet. You can, like someone moving, so you can definitely see there's someone standing behind that door, like looking at the door. And then you see the shadow move again, and they move away from the door. Maybe they're used to hearing sounds, you're not sure, but then that mumbling starts up again.
Alright. Why don't I have to make decisions?
Because you're the squad leader. That is your job.
Yes. I want to just peer around that corner again, just to look up, see who those two people are. They're still facing away.
This guy, this one up here is the one at the far end, is definitely facing the wall. He's sitting with his back to the wall. This one's walked up a little further, and you can't really hear it. It seems like you catch bits and pieces, but nothing major. Looks like they're having a bit of a conversation, perhaps, but it's very hushed.
So many choices. Stuff's difficult. Yeah, I don't know what to do.
Decision's yours to make. Ruth sort of whispers up, "What's happening? What are you doing? What are we doing?"
Toby is going to move across to there.
Yeah.
And then he's going to just sort of wonder if He's going to look and listen to see if the people above on the path upwards saw him move.
Doesn't appear so. The guy still goes back to you, so he hasn't moved. They're still walking.
He's going to beckon Oath forward into this sort of position.
Booth moves up slowly, cautiously.
He's going to basically beckon the group up forward.
Dilly is going to make sure she goes behind Marath.
Yep.
And she's going to put her hand
Marath
on
would
his
push.
leg.
Yeah, Marath would push
Yeah.
forward in front of you two, Varys. He'd put his hand on your shoulder and sort of give you a look, and sort of, not forcefully, but just sort of push himself past you.
But as he's going past, I'm going to say, "You've got this, big boy," and I'm going to cast Mage Armor on him, which is a first level spell.
Awesome. I believe. Did I? No, I didn't do it on this one. I did it on the mini one. So what's the armor it'll give him?
It will give him 13.
13.
Armor.
Yeah, that's right. So I'll increase it here manually for now. So
and I'm guessing
that lasts for 8 hours, doesn't it?
Yeah, so it's a 13 plus your dexterity, but I know Mara's dexterity is 0, so it'll be
Yeah,
a 13.
so it'll be just 13. But that's cool. 13 is better than 11. 10. Sorry, that he had. So yeah, so that lasts for 8 hours. So I've manually increased his for now for that, to accommodate for that. Now it's a first level spell, you said. What's up, Trash? I was going to add you in. Nothing's really happened yet, Trash. We've done the recap. You guys are advancing. There's a couple of cultists down this hallway that you've seen. And Tolby has just sort of beckoned you forward to your current position. And we're not in any kind of initiative, so we're there yet. Sadiq will hopefully join us sometime soon. If not, I'll continue to play him. It's not a problem. So, first things first, Dilly. Since you have done that, I need to make a quick private roll here. Okay, you are, for all intents and purposes, you are fine. You have not felt any ill effects from your casting of Mage Armor. Tolvir, I'll turn it back over to you.
Right, Tolby's going to sort of hold his hand up and say, basically, there's 2 down that way, there's 1 in the room behind me. We'll go up, we'll see if we can sneak up and take out those 2 up the top there because they're both looking away. And so yeah, I'll attempt to sneak up the hallway. I can't. There we go.
Okay, so just you, or are you going to have Uth and maybe LV move with you, or the whole group?
So, like, Uth and LV follow me. The rest of you come to where we are and hold this area.
Okay, so before you move any further, I will need, because I'm assuming you're going to attempt to stealth up that way?
Yes.
I will need a stealth check from Uth, Tolvir, and LV, please.
Yes.
That would be a nat 1.
Nat 1? Okay, so a nat 1 is not good.
I'm starting tonight off well, aren't I?
LV goes to move past Uth. Uth stumbles and LV stumbles over Uth.
Indeed.
Making a clattering.
I just need to find something because I've had... Where the hell is... I'm missing one of my macros.
You were deleting some before.
No, this is one that I haven't actually put on this one because it's hard to put it on the other one because I'm smart like that. But I won't need to worry about it for now. I'll fix it later. Passive perception. Natural 1, they're going to hear you 100%. So we had a natural 1 from Uth. We had an 8 from Tolvir. We had an 8 from LV. So all low. This guy, as you sort of step forward, I'll get you to go forward. There's one more. Oh no, you're right there. This cultist turns. This guy stands up and turns. And just looks at you. And reaches into his cloak. And grabs a long curved horn and just blows on it. And then starts charging down the hallway. So,
Tolvir will charge as well.
yep. So before we do any charging, we need you guys to roll initiative for me.
Hold on, guys, this went well.
What did Dilly get?
15.
15 from Dilly. We had a natural 20 from somebody. From LV. Nice. Well, look at that. You guys did well. Looks like all of you got the upper hand in this particular moment. I need to add those guys and these guys. They will not join just yet, but they are definitely alerted. So, as need to bring that battle music up a little bit. So as you start to charge down the hallway, Tolvir, this guy's charging towards you. You guys will meet about here, so I'll get you to move forward as this guy moves up. You'll both meet somewhere in the middle. This guy's not far behind him. And he charges up to you. LV, you get the initiative here. Dilly on board, Marath to follow. So I'll just start the combat so that we know exactly who's who. So LV, there we go. You're first on the initiative.
LV, I believe I mentioned he put his hook knives into the poison pouch.
He did indeed, and we believe the poison was active with what you rolled.
Once he pulls it from the things, it's active, correct. So, now we were talking before about the corridor. If my partners let me, I can push past them. Is that what
You
we're
certainly
saying?
can. I mean, you can stand. I mean, you don't necessarily have to move your token. You can say that you've pushed past Uth if you wish, and you can stand next to Tolvir, or push past him if he allows it. With this other guy blocking where he is, you'd be able to stand shoulder to shoulder with Tolvir if he allowed you to do so.
Yeah, I'm thinking shoulder to shoulder with Tolvir. That's probably
Okay,
the way to go.
so you can move yourself up there. What I will do is we can do this.
I just sort of moved myself to the side.
Yep.
Ah, sweet, yeah. And LV
You
activates assassination.
kind of in shadow on the stream, but that's fine. You're just sort of right on the edge of the wall.
So LV activates assassination mode. So Evil, you'll know what assassinate is.
I
because
certainly
I
do.
First turn in combat and no one else has moved, I get advantage on the attack.
You certainly do.
And I attack with my poisoned hook swords. And being an assassin, having advantage on the attack gives me sneak.
It does indeed.
I target that.
I know
dude.
this character class all too well.
Right, and so Elvi's hook sword sort of, as he pulls him out of the poison jar, he swings around and he goes straight for up under the ribs, as he's been told it's okay to kill the cultists by his leader.
Indeed. 14 does hit. And so that deals, so far we've got
3 plus
3
8.
damage plus 8 damage.
And for poison as well, I'm getting 2d4 on that.
Do not need
Oops,
to.
up there. No.
You can roll it, but as LV, your first dagger, you plunge it into his lower rib, third and fourth rib, striking the lung. And the cultist, you hear that rush of air leave the cultist's chest, as you know all too well. You know exactly where you've hit, and his eyes just roll back in his head. He's unable to draw breath, to scream, or even make a sound, and he just sinks to the ground in front of you with a single attack.
Tolvir would see LV's right eye laser up and just go, I believe it's my right eye. My left eye lasers up, goes red, and he goes assassination mode and runs straight into the next guy and uses a second attack.
Go for it.
And that is with the other hand. So now I don't have...
No advantage on this one, however.
Unfortunately, with Assassinate, I do, because he hasn't had a turn in combat yet.
Yes, you do. Indeed.
So, unfortunately, yeah, this first round is a good thing. After that, it doesn't.
You will get sneak attack as well, in that case. This is one of the rare...
Natural
and a
20.
natural 20. One of the rare instances where sneak attack is used twice in the same turn, guys, so... It's very cool. Natural 20 with 9 points of damage right off the bat.
And, of course, sneak attack damage. And the poison.
No need for the sneak attack or the poison. The crit damage alone is enough to end this cultist's life. Where does LV strike this cultist as he charges forward?
LV charges forward, he lunges down, lands on one knee and strikes him 2 inner thigh shots. Whoosh, whoosh, and just the blood that sprays out is that main vein in the inner thigh.
Yeah, severing, I believe, the femoral artery in both inner thighs, causing him to just reach down with both hands as the jets of blood spray forth, and he looks at you as he bleeds out in seconds. Again, not really managing to muster a cry out for help at this point.
And with that, LV scans the area and then just leaves it to the next person, stating 2 enemies down.
Well done, LV. So there's LV's turn. Dilly, it is now your turn. From your position, you can't see exactly what's just gone on, but what you can hear, because they're not being quiet, from this direction here, which is down the hallway to your south. I'll zoom this out a little bit so the chat can see it as well. So from this direction here, you hear the sound of voices and footsteps. You know that something or someone is coming, and there's more than one.
Okay. Dilly's gonna turn around and say to Marath, clear the space, and she's gonna hold a crossbow action for the first person that comes around that corner.
Marath will move up, getting himself into a position where he could pretty much gank anyone that comes around that corner. He's not stupid.
So the minute that someone comes around that corner that's cultist or anything like that, Dilly will fire her crossbow.
So you're going to hold your action to fire your crossbow? No problem.
Yep.
So you hold your action. It's Marath's turn. Marath's pretty much going to do the same. He's going to hold his action, waiting for the first combatant to come into view, and then he's going to hack and slash. So that will be Uth. It is your turn, and then Varius, and then Tolvir.
So I'm going to face the opposite direction of Tolvir and LV, and ready an action with crossbow for anybody coming.
So you're going to ready an action also, no problem. So I'm just going to add some people to the initiative order here. As they will join at the top of the next round. So Varius, it is now your turn. I'm just going to get to you. Uth, you're holding an action. Varius, is now your turn with Tolvir on board.
Varius grabs his 2 short swords out in either hand, and he prepares a short sword attack to anything that comes.
Okay, so you're holding an action also. Awesome.
Yep. Everybody
Everybody holding attacks. Brilliant. Tolvir, It is now your turn.
Toby is going to move to there.
Yep.
And he's going to say to LV, just watch this door. Oop, this door. If it's a door, I can't tell.
Yes, it appears to be a doorway.
We can hear more coming. I'll cover this door.
Affirmative.
And if we hear fighting down below, we'll move down. And I'm going to hold action with my axe.
No worries, everyone's holding an action, no problem.
Did anything come through that door?
So we need to add him, and him to the initiative order now. So this will bring us back to the top of the initiative order with LV.
LV will follow orders and stand in front of the door, guarding the two doors he sees, one in front, one beside. He will hold. Incorrect. He will take the dodge action.
Dodge action, no worries.
Anything that attacks him will have disadvantage.
No problem, dodge action taken. Next up, let's see what we got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I believe if you can see it, I don't know what your line of sight is, guys, on your tokens, but if you can see that individual coming up the hallway, you can use your action if you wish. If you cannot, then obviously you cannot.
DM, what does the heart mean over Tolvir and myself?
That's not over top of you, that's on the
That's on
token
the bodies,
below.
is it?
Yep, that's on the bodies. So that's the bloodied condition on the bodies below you.
Good.
It's
Just
not.
checking.
It's not on you, so you're good. So yeah, I don't think Mareth. No, Mareth can't see it. Neither can Varys. So you guys are good there. No. So it's going to go to there. Let's see what he can do. Gonna sort of. He's going to continue to move because he doesn't know you guys are there. He failed on. These guys failed on the perception early. He's just running because of what he's heard, and he's going to come right out into the hallway and pretty much end up right in the center of you guys and go, "Fuck." So Various and I say all three of you actually. So Dilly was holding first. So Dilly, you get your crossbow attack. You will have to shoot around Various, which again you guys can be standing shoulder to shoulder, so it's not a big issue.
Yeah, if I'm standing shoulder to shoulder with him, that would be good because I just rolled a natural one.
I mean, actually, no, you couldn't be standing shoulder to shoulder because you'd be in melee combat, which would make it disadvantage anyway. So you'd have to be behind him with your crossbow. Yeah, either way, natural one's a natural one. So
I can't even use my advantage.
No, not on a natural one, unfortunately.
No.
So what I will get you to, we will test this out. Let's get the coin flip out. So Dilly, can you roll the coin flip for me? Tails is going to be bad for Various. Lucky. So you miss Various barely as you release your crossbow. The arrow Various, you feel it past your ear, and it I'd say it nicks your ear just the very edge, not enough to do any damage, but it still hurts, and strikes the wall in front of this cultist. And he sort of looks and goes, and then he's looking backwards and forward, saying, and he just pulls out a weapon, readying himself. So Marath, I believe, was holding next. He will attack with his scimitar. Which will hit. And we'll do 9 points of slashing damage. Again, Various, you get sprayed with bits of viscera and bone as Marith just raises his scimitar high and just goes whack, taking it down across his shoulder, down through the neck and into the chest cavity. There's this gaping wound as the guy's head lolls to one side and he slumps to his death in front of you.
Varys is like ready to attack, and he's like, "Oh!" and he just wipes his face. Oh.
These guys are just no match for you guys. I'm going to think a bit harder about my encounters in the future. That being said, that was his held action.
It's fine. We got dealt to by those other dudes by the tents last time.
Yeah, you did. Next up, I would say you guys up there wouldn't notice, but this door opens. So Marius got his back to this person he's dealt with that. Varys and Dilly, you'd be the first to see it. A large dog creature. It's not a dog, but it's much bigger. Charges down the hallway right into the back of Marath. So Varius, you hadn't held action. If you want to, you can scoot up next to Marath and make an attack on this creature if you wish.
I do wish.
So I mean, you can leave yourself there. Just move yourself forward one space and then target the dog. And just make your attack. For all intents and purposes, you're standing next to Marath.
Okay.
And you can see this creature's not fully fleshed. He's a little bit incorporeal at the same time. The 15, which does hit. Not doing a huge amount of damage though. You're not used to swinging the sword. It feels weird. But you swing it anyway, and you contact, and you open up a small wound on this creature, and sort of, and then just, and you see the inside its mouth is glowing, ember hot. That is pretty much your turn. That was your held action. It's going to make its attacks at Marath.
Do I get an attack at it?
Yes, you will in just a second. Marath would have raged as well, so I'll make sure I got that on. Put his rage condition on. You'll get your attack of opportunity after this guy makes his attack on Marath. God, where is it? Makes a bite attack. Misses with a 7. So that is its turn. So Uth, your attack that you held, you were holding a crossbow attack, I believe. So target the doji. Yep. And make your crossbow attack, which was an 8, which I believe also does hit, striking it just below the nape of the neck, sending it crashing against the wall. Dead.
And okay, cool. That's the end of my turn.
It's just your held action, so that's you anyway. So that is the end of its turn as well. It is now dead. Another moves out from the same room. Again, charging forward right into Marath, because he's generally the only one there that it can see. Intelligence not that great, so it's going to make its attacks at Marath as well. Single bite attack, which will miss again. Damn. So Marath escaping any kind of damage in that particular round. Next up we have this guy's turn. What can he do? You see another figure, guys. Marath can see this now as you're all sort of looking in that direction. Step into the doorway when you can turn around. Go, turn around. There we go. Steps in the doorway. And he targets... He looks down there and he targets you, Dilly. He recognizes a magician or a magic user when he sees one. And he will cast... What's the range on that? What is the range? Didn't tell me. Oh, it'll reach. You're not that far away. It's first level, guiding bolt. Which hits with a 22. Doing 14 points of radiant damage. And I believe that has Dilly unconscious. We will put the unconscious. Should have automatically put you unconscious. But I'll do it. So Dilly is rendered unconscious with a single attack from this priest who just laughs maniacally. The bloody hand boys prevail. Dilly, I need you to make your first death save, please. You didn't use the macro. Anyway, 17 is good.
I did use the macro.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I pressed the little button that was down on my thing, macro.
Is
And
that?
it said to Game Master. It doesn't have it for anyone else.
Does anyone else see that? No, that's weird because it doesn't say to Game Master on mine. Anyway,
It says to Game Master on mine.
That's
so.
cool. That's fine. As long as no one else sees it, but I gave it away. It's all good. That's a success. You're good. Your first one. That was my bad. So next up, Marath. He just charges forward. No hesitation. He's raging. Targets this guy. Raises his scimitar high, double-bladed scimitar, runs in. So he got the one attack, yes he has. With a 17 to hit, which does hit, and deals 10 points of slashing damage, opening up a large wound across this guy's chest. With the remainder of his movement, he's going to scoot around to allow someone else to get an attack on this guy as well. Next up is another cultist. Let's see, that's 10, 20. He's only going to go to there. So Varys, you'd be able to see this guy coming up the hallway quite easily. Uther, is now your turn. You've seen Marath charge forward. You've seen the magic, this bolt of radiant light shoot down the hallway.
Targeting that beast. Crossbow again.
No worries. Natural
Nope,
one.
that one.
You strike the wall behind it, shattering the crossbow bolt against the wall. Are you going to
That was my
move?
No, I'll stay there.
You can stay there. The creature turns in your direction. Next up is another one of these guys. He's gonna go through this way. You guys hear a door open somewhere in the distance. Varys, it's now your turn. Tolvir on board. So you can see the cultist in front of you down the hallway now. You can see the dog has turned its attention away from you. You saw Marath run down the hall, and you can see the priest at the end of this hall. You know that Dilly has just collapsed behind you as you saw the radiant energy shoot past you, turn, and you watch Dilly collapse on the floor. She's unmoving.
Oh. Dilly. And I'm going to move back to Dilly. Not with targeting, though. And I'll be facing that way.
No problem.
I will cure wounds on Dilly.
Your wounds, no problem. Target her as well. Roll a d20 first.
Yep.
No critical, but target Dilly and cast your heal. 6 points. So Dilly, you are no longer unconscious. You are awake. I don't know why that I'm going to have to check that, make sure that that's going to work automatically, but it's all good.
No worries, and I will spin back around knowing there's stuff coming
Yep.
this way.
So Dilly, you are now
Okay.
conscious, but you are prone, so it'll cost you half your movement to stand back up when it's your turn. Tolver, it is now your turn. You've seen, from your position, you've seen the first of these two demonic dogs go down. The second has now turned its attention towards Uth. You see Mara shoot down the hallway, charging at something.
So Toby is going to say, LV, Uth, it sounds like all the action's happening in the area down where everyone else is. We want to move down that way and go forth and attack. And
You can move past Uth as an ally if he allows you to, easily enough.
I am going to move down past Uth, and I'm going to stand in that doorway there.
Yep, which you can do. I'll open the door on the map, just so that everyone else can see you as well.
No, not there.
You're
I
good.
want to be able,
Yep, you're good there. You can. So you want to target the Mastiff?
I want to be able to see in both directions.
You
and
can.
I'm gonna,
Yeah, you'll be able to from there.
and then I'm going to target the Mastiff. That which
Yep.
it's old, isn't it? Yes.
Yes, alt click or double right click still works. That will be a 9. That will miss. You ran, sort of scoot around it, trying to sort of get in behind it. Unfortunately, your axe swings a little wide, and you miss your target. Is that your turn?
I can use a bite as a...
As a bonus action, yes, we discussed that. Yep, you certainly can.
Yes. Okay, I'll use a bite as a bonus action, attempt to bite the thing.
Go for it.
It's not on my bonus action list.
Just use it as a bonus action anyway. It'll probably be under your regular actions on this sheet. 11 will still miss, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So as you bite forward, this creature's a little more dexterous than you, and it sort of turns its head as you go to bite down on its back, and it just arches away from you. That will be your turn, I believe.
And that'll be my turn.
That guy's dead. That guy's dead. LV, back to the top.
Just one thing.
Yes.
He'll call to LV and say, "I'll watch that corridor you're in."
Okay.
So effectively telling them to come down.
Affirmative.
LV, your turn.
Alright. LV moves 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, moving through characters. Once he sees the long corridor.
And move yourself
What are
back.
the-
Move yourself back one. That's where a creature is, right in front of you.
Sorry,
There.
yeah.
There's
There's a creature
there's
there.
a
is there?
hound there.
Okay.
Yeah. What I'll do is I'll
Cool.
move this other one out of the way. It's dead, and we'll put this one back.
Sweet.
I'll delete these dead guys.
So as basically LV would see the hound, then he would run headlong into it. But I feel like he tried a wall run around Uth to make that,
You're gonna make a wall run? Okay. Athletics check.
Yeah.
Athletics as you shoot past Uth.
Where did I put my? Oh, there. Athletics.
It's not great.
Today.
A little bit rusty, but it's serviceable. You make it. You probably clip Uth's shoulder as you move past him. It's not as clean as it would normally have been. Maybe still working out the kinks and the rust after 400 years.
Still have some stiffness in the joints. Nonetheless, LV makes his attacks against this creature.
Target away.
I've clicked something weird and I can't see my shit, but I'll work with it. Bear with me, DM. I don't know
No.
what's I've clicked. Oh, here we go. I got it.
It's all good.
It's giving me a weird page.
It's all a learning curve.
Sweet. So
you
same
will
thing
have
with
the
poison hook
advantage.
blades.
Yeah, you'll have advantage. You have allies within 5 feet,
within
which will
5
give
feet.
you the sneak attack.
Excellent.
Still a miss, however.
Ah, that's a horrible roll. Okay, that was
is.
first hand, second hand attack, and this one just doesn't add the +1. I didn't remember that last time. But that's a
Natural 20. So we, describe the demise of the hound as you jam your offhand into its body.
Yeah, as I come rustily off the wall run, Elvie sort of knocks Uth's edge, drops to one knee, sliding a little. You see, I feel like sparks off the concrete floor, and he just jams that second blade, missing with the first, but jamming the second one into the neck of the beast, screwing it around, trying to take the head off.
Indeed it does, spraying blood and viscera in all directions as you sever the carotid artery without any hassles at all. This is what you're trained for.
Then LV will use bonus action. Oh man, that's a hard choice. I can't see around the corner. No, I'll stay
Your
where I am.
offhand attack is your bonus action, I believe.
You are correct. You are correct. I stand
Cool.
corrected. Thank you, DM. That is
No
a
worries, that is it for you. Next up, it is Le Priest's turn. Now that Marath has engaged him, he turns and looks at Marath and simply says,
That's what I did.
targets Marath, strikes at him with a large spiked mace, and does 2 points of bludgeoning damage. Would be half to 1 because Marath is a little protected with his rage going on at the moment. Where is my half damage? Here we go. So that, I believe, let's check the bonus actions here. Before it does anything else, got a bonus action. Nope, I think that's pretty much it for him. No, what he will do is he's going to cast Spiritual Weapon. What he's going to cast. And a large mace appears behind Marath and makes its attack. Which hits with a 15, doing 9 points of damage, but again it'll be half as it's bludgeoning. But Mara's still looking a little hurt, taking a little bit of damage there. So that's its turn. Dilly, you're up. Maris is on board.
Dilly, still holding her crossbow, puts the bolt in and fires.
Do you step past Various to fire?
I do not even get up.
Are you going to fire from the
I'm laying
ground?
on the ground, and I'm going to fire at the priest.
You're going to be laying on the ground. Oh, yeah, I'd say you better fire through Varys' legs. I was going to give you disadvantage, but I'll allow it.
So I'm going to.
It's a crossbow, not a regular bow. If it was a regular bow, it would have been disadvantage.
Yeah. I'm going to use my only advantage that I have. It was I want to bloody hit something. I still don't. It's a 9.
No, you miss. The arrow fires wide. Probably striking the door frame before it reaches the room, I would say. You can use half your movement to get up.
With the rest of my movement, I'm going to get up.
Yep. You got 15 feet left.
Yep. As no, I'm gonna leave it. You're
gonna leave it? No worries. So that's you, Marath. He just grins and bears down on this priest. Once again, double-bladed scimitar with a 12 to hit, which just misses, unfortunately. I don't think Marath has any advantages. We can't really do anything with that, but he's not worried. He's going to stay right where he is. And he's going to take it, whatever comes next. Next up is this guy. He moves into here. Moves into you, Varys, as you're the closest one he can see. And he, as he sort of moves towards you, he draws a scimitar from under his cloak, raises it high, and attacks with a 15 to hit, which I believe does hit you.
Sure does.
And he will do 5 points of damage to you. So that is his turn. Uth, is now your turn.
Oh, seeing how there's no action happening there, I'm going to... Oof.
Yes, as soon as you enter the hallway, you would see this guy. You got two choices. You'd look in the hallway. If you look left and right, you'd see Marath engage with someone in that room. Bigger, like he's a bigger dude with better looking robes and a large mace, and you'd see this dude with a scimitar just slashing it at Varys as you come around the corner. So it's up to you which way you go.
Attacking with the rapier on the cultists in front of Various.
At advantage, you are flanking.
Oh, sweet.
$16 does hit.
8 damage.
8 damage. Why is that not allowing? Oh, because he didn't roll it through there. That's cool. 8 damage, not a problem. He is looking
action.
pretty bloody. So offhand with your bonus action.
Yep.
Also at advantage. 22 does hit.
And there's no modifiers. This one is.
There's no modifier, just a straight dice, yeah.
So it's 2.
2. It's enough. With with 2 damage. Uth, you run him through. First one into the kidneys. The second one in the back of his head, through his neck and out through the front of his throat. Varys, all you see is this rapier's point just goes out the front and probably sprays you with a little bit more viscera, just for good measure.
And as the body falls, a slight bow to Various.
Indeed. A sly grin and a slight bow from Uth as the cultist between you perishes. That is your turn, Uth. Next up, we have this guy. He's gonna run to there. Then we got this guy, and he's gonna come to there and turn. It's 20, 30. He'll give enough, just. No, he won't. Won't quite make it to you, Dilly. But you can see he's not talking. He's not making any smart comments. He's just gritting his teeth, charging up from behind you. Varys, it is your turn. You would all hear this guy. Uth, you'd definitely see him. Easily enough for you to give warning, which would alert Varys that someone's coming up behind you and Dilly. Dilly, you'd be aware of it as well, giving you the opportunity to turn. So Varys, it is your turn with Tolvir on board.
Various sees the priest down the other end, and he says in Sylvan the word faster.
Yep.
And he casts Zephyr Strike. And down by his feet, you see these 2 fey creatures tap his hooves as they sort of shudder a bit. And he is going to... Ooh, I've got to target myself.
Yes, you can target yourself to cast Zephyr Strike on yourself. I don't...
Yay. And he is going to bolt past Uth to the priest.
Awesome. Easily enough done. And I know what Zephyr Strike does, so
Why's it asking me to roll?
It's because you get an extra D8
Yeah.
damage generally
On a chosen.
on a chosen attack, but it's probably asking you to roll it now for some reason, which is weird.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Alright, and I am going to attack this priest fellow with my short sword,
Go for it.
and I am going to pump that
The extra D8 into it.
that into it. Yeah.
Gotta hit him first.
Yeah. Exactly.
So attack him, good sir.
No more.
Ooh, that will miss.
That will miss.
That
but
will miss just.
Because I pumped that in, I get an extra 30 feet of movement, and I'm gonna back away from him all the way back down to where I was about.
No worries, and I think that negates an attack of opportunity too, from memory.
It does.
Indeed, so you move away. Not able to find purchase on the attack, but you rush up, make the swing, and think, oh shit, and run back, trying to avoid any kind of confrontation. Tolver, it is your turn.
Okay, Tolver is going to say, okay, there's one down to the right, just engage with Marath. There's one down by Dilly. I'll go down and defend Dilly. And he's basically saying that to Uth and...
Yep, easy enough done. Again, like I say, you're able to move past allies as a general rule anyway. So you can put yourself in between Dilly and the combatant, which would put you in melee range.
Yep, and I am going to attack with my axe.
Attack away.
Shit. No, not that one, that one. There we go.
12. That will hit. Doing 11 points of slashing damage, which is enough to end his life in an instant. Whereabouts did you strike him with your axe?
Well, being the fact that we're in a tight hallway, I'd probably go over the top, down, with them sort of top of the shoulder down.
I'd say with that kind of blow, with that kind of damage, yeah, it's going to bury itself fairly deep. Almost splitting him, not completely, but you've cracked a few ribs on the way down, through the clavicle, through the top of the neck, down and through the ribs. Spraying blood and viscera up all over your face, which is something you're not afraid of or not used to. So definitely, it would probably be a big grin over Tolby's face, I'd imagine, at this point.
Yeah. Very happy.
And is that your turn?
I would remain facing that direction to make sure nothing else comes around there.
No problem.
In my turn.
No worries. LV. It is now your turn.
Excellent. LV heard the command from the corporal. He says affirmative and moves out. Knowing the corporal is moving towards Dilly, he moves 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, right behind this unit
Go
here.
for it. Advantage and sneak attack.
Yeah, I would be hopefully there. There we go.
You'd have to climb. You'd have to climb up on the altar to get there, but
Is that an altar? Okay.
yeah.
I'll
Oh no, you'd
do
be able to
that.
get in between it. Yeah, no, there'd be enough room to stand between.
Enough for him?
Yeah,
Okay,
you'd be fine.
so I'm between the altar and him.
Yeah.
And LV would just swing straight in. First strike at advantage, isn't it?
It is. You have an ally flanking.
I would give the target him first. And LV strikes for the neck area, going right for the jugular as his first strike.
No worries. 14, 17. That does hit.
And that will
1
be-
second here. Just got to make sure he's got no reactions. Nope, you're good.
And the poison damage on top of that.
It takes the 3 damage there and the sneak attack. Massive damage on the sneak
Okay.
attack. And your poison damage, which I believe is a 1d4.
2d4 because of
2d4?
the... Yep, but it's 1d4 normally, but because it was the potent roll.
Ah, yes.
So there's an extra 6 on top of that.
Describe the demise of said priest, I believe. Let me just check here. 6. Indeed.
So LV, when he rolls in, he moves to that crouch position, like almost like a four-legged spider, and he just leaps up onto the dude's back of his neck like a crab. Yeah, like a crab sort of look. But the hook blades are both out, and he just rams them straight up into the jugular, up under the jaw, and then just twists his head off and says, "Assassination complete," and drops back to the ground, stands up, looking for more enemies.
Indeed. He is definitely more than dead. Mara sort of looks at you, grinning from ear to ear, but also you see that little bit of grimace come across too, that you're just taking a kill from him. But he's definitely happy to be in combat, at the very least. The spiritual weapon vanishes as the priest dies. Is that your turn?
I believe so. Yes, LV will be finished. Yes.
No worries. Dilly, you're up. Marath on board.
Did Gilly hear anything since she was so low to the ground?
You guys could still hear, like,
I'm wondering if I heard the other combatant around the corner.
you would have. Everyone, I mean, they definitely did not disguise that they were coming, so you could still hear footsteps coming, all of you. So Tolby, you'd be aware there's someone still around the corner. Dilly, you would be aware, definitely, more than easily enough.
Okay, so she's gonna run up there, see him, and go, "Hello, pretty little man," and she's gonna grab his feet, or wherever he can, ankles or calves, and she's going to do shocking grasp.
No worries.
On him?
Go for it.
And she'll miss, but as a bonus action, because it's a 10, I don't think I'd get him with a 10,
No,
right?
10 misses.
No. As my bonus action, because I'm going to convert 2 of my sorcery points to make it so I can do it again.
Quicken spell.
With a spell, yep.
Nice.
Spell or cantrip. I'm going to do shocking grasp again.
Does
and
your
that will-
conversion of sorcery points cost you the bonus action though?
No, it's just an automatic.
Just not. I'm not
It's an
familiar with
automatic.
sorcerers.
I've only got
so
so many, yeah.
yeah, that's fine. Just wanted to confirm.
So I've done it, and I've got a 15.
15 hits.
Yeah. And that will be 2 points of
2
lightning
points
damage.
of lightning damage.
And
And you just
it
go,
will-
"Yeah," and sort of blinks his eyes a little bit, and then looks down at you and just draws his scimitar ready to attack.
With that, I'm going to actually, because I've still got a bit of movement, I'm going to go in between his legs to flank him behind, so that Tolver can actually have a go.
Roll
As I'm doing the shocking.
an acrobatics to see if you can get through, because he's not an ally. He's not going to allow you just to charge through.
That's 17.
17. Give me 1 second here. We'll make it dexterity versus dexterity. 17.
Ooh.
So I would say with a matching skill, he would more or less trap you in between his legs. As you go to scoot through, he just closes his legs and stops you from getting all the way through. So you'll still be in front of him, not behind him, with a match skill. So you'd sort of be arms through.
Technically in between his.
Yeah, you'd be sort of arms
squished.
through. Yeah. So I'd move your token back to the front, because he's probably going to step back off you to make his attack. I mean, you could probably stay there actually.
Yeah, I was going to say.
You stay there. You're pretty much on the same square. I mean, you've tried to dive through, and he's just locked his legs down on sort of around your shoulders and head area, sort of stopping you from getting all the way through. Interesting, but we'll go with that. Mara's turn. Mara sort of steps out here, looks down and sort of calls out, "Any more?" And just moves 5, 10, 15, 20. Pretty much moves to there as full movement at this point. And Uth, you're up.
Okay, so I'm moving all the way to here.
Yep,
Yeah,
and
there's
you're able to
Dilly in
move
front of
fast.
me,
So
or-
you got Dilly and this guy in front of you. So he's standing. Dilly's trapped between his
Okay,
legs. Like you can see, sort of clamped his knees down, stopping her from sort of diving through. So she's kind of half prone, stuck between this guy's legs. and she's sort of wiggling and struggling, trying to get free. He isn't like, you're not grappled or restrained or anything, Dilly. You just sort of half, almost not quite halfway through.
So I don't know who that's targeting.
Let's just move him out the way. So target him. Make sure you're not targeting Dilly, and then I'll put him back.
All right, attacking with rapier.
No
21 to
worries.
hit.
21 hits. Nice strike. It must have been a
damage.
natural 19 or something. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. 18.
18 plus 3, yeah. So 2 damage. No worries. So the first
That's
one.
19.
Another one. So yeah, just that 2 damage, catching him in the gut area. And next one you
And
sort of
2 damage
slash across his chest with the other. He's not looking good, but he's still up.
Yeah, so that was another 2.
Yep, he's looking bloodied, but he's still up.
And that's it.
That's it. It's now his turn. He's got a dilemma. You've just slashed out at him. He's looking at you. He's sort of looking down at Dilly beneath him, and he's not entirely sure what to do here. So, heads is going to be Dilly, tails is going to be Uth. He's going to attack. So heads it's Dilly. I need to move so I can target Dilly. I was going to leave him there for now, just for purposes. So he's going to strike down at you, Dilly. I'm not going to give him advantage because technically you're not fully prone, so it's going to be a straight roll. I could get a little, I could be nasty there, but I won't. Not this early level. 12, which I believe does hit Dilly, and does 6 slashing damage. Is Dilly still up, or is she unconscious? I believe she is unconscious once again.
She's unconscious.
So Dilly drops and slumps to the floor, Earth, in front of you. This cultist sort of slashes down and then looks up at you and just grins. And you can see runs his hand across his blade with Dilly's blood and then just plants a big bloody handprint right across his face and just grins. Varys, it's your turn. Tolvir on board.
Varys will bolt down the hallway, slide past Tolvir. He'll use his Mirthful Leap, which doesn't cost him anything. It's just a feature to sort of grab Oof's shoulder and kick off the wall and bounce the other side of him, just as a bit of flavour.
Yep, no worries. I won't make you roll an athletics. Actually, I'll make you roll an athletics. Acrobatics, sorry.
I could roll the d8 that it tells me to roll for Mirthful Leaps if you want.
No, I'm not worried about that. You'd easily vault over. I mean, you're the same height as Uth, but an acrobatics to see how cool it is more than anything.
No.
And see if you stick the landing. It's not cool. It's not good. I mean, you sort of stumble, maybe jar your ankle a little bit as you land. It's not a natural one. It's not a complete failure, but it's not great. It's not graceful, but it's it's purposeful.
He's like, fuckhead.
And you land and jar your ankle. You look down, you see Dilly's down again, not moving, motionless, and this guy's got this bloodied handprint across his face, and he's just grinning scimitar out, and almost crazy like he's just not afraid to die.
All right, I'm gonna hopefully let him die.
Roll your attack.
Oh, is it doing? It's doing weird stuff.
Doing weird stuff? That's not good. Not allowed to do weird stuff.
Where is? Let me
Say reload if you have to. Yeah, do you know if you have any issues reloading or just closing your character sheet and reopening will help too?
Yeah, I'll reload. It's not letting me roll.
Are you sure you've... Oh, no, you've definitely targeted him.
Oh, I had weird, Oop, are you doing it? Come on. Dang it.
Still not rolling?
Oh, it's taking a bit to load.
Alright. It's all good. We can wait. It's not... I mean, it's the final... Possibly the final blow. Maybe. We'll see. Not like this.
No.
The thing with digital things and internets and stuff.
Yes.
There we go. That hits with a 12. Just.
And 5 piercing damage.
Various. Describe the demise of this last cultist as you step forward, stepping not onto Dilly, but stepping forward next to Dilly and striking with your short sword.
Yeah, so as he vaults over the top of Oof and lands on his ankle, a bit funny, he holds his ankle and then he just leans up and sort of shoves it into his chest and out through the back.
Easily enough done. Through the between the ribs, finding his heart, and the breath is again drawn from his body. His eyes roll back, and he drops to the ground.
Yeah, and so would Various. He's never killed anyone before.
And that is the end of our combat, ladies and germs. End our combat there. A bit of an issue, but no, we're good there.
Various, quick, if you've got the spells, tend to...
Yes, we are out of combat. So, Dilly, I'll need you to make one essay for me before anyone does anything, please. Okay, so, yeah, I'll turn it over to you guys now. We're out of initiative, but she's still got 2 death saves to make in the next 6 seconds, so it's up to you what you do.
Various, do you have anything?
What? And he sort of drops his swords. He's like, yeah,
Various,
yeah.
snap out of it, quick!
Cure wounds. Cure wounds. I will target Dilly.
No worries.
I didn't roll the D20.
Roll it. I can always add double.
Yeah.
Nope, didn't work.
Nope.
So we got
4 healing damage.
4 healing damage to Dilly. So Dilly is conscious once again, but hurt. She's still extremely bloody. She's got a large gaping wound across her back and upper shoulders.
And Dilly's gonna sit up, take a quick look around, see the thing that trapped her in front of her dead. She's gonna pull out her dagger. She's gonna crawl over the body, slice its neck, and then slice from neck down to torso, and rip it open as much as she can for as little as she is.
I'm not even going to make you roll for that because it just sounds like you're butchering the crap out of this dead body. So
Can I roll a Constitution?
you can. I think who's standing there? Various definitely. Uth, you two as well. You've probably not seen this kind of brutality. You've definitely seen dead bodies, but you've never seen someone rip into a body like this before. Marath is sort of standing. You can hear Marath giggling from behind. He's used to this kind of brutality.
I need a
Con save.
I need a con saved.
Yes. Tolvez wouldn't have a problem. LV wouldn't have a problem. So yeah, Varys, yeah, you're gonna lose lunch, definitely. Uth, you're borderline, really borderline. It makes you feel ill, but you're gonna hold down your food.
P1C, that creature is dead.
I realize that. I just want to feel better. And she'll, as she's climbing off, she's going to check pockets and everything like that as she's getting off.
These guys aren't carrying a whole lot. No pockets to speak of in the robes. They're a basic, very basic robe. Each of the cultists were carrying just a plain, mundane scimitar. So I believe there was all up for six cultists. So there'd be 6 scimitars lying around. They're not flash. A couple of them are starting to rust. So they were serviceable, but barely. as you turn back down the hallway to see where the hounds had died, there's nothing but a black smudge on the cobblestone where they once lay. Which I'd say Tolby is probably the only one that would really have an understanding of what they may have been at this point. They're definitely demonic. That much was evident. Or necromantic in nature, for certain. The priest's body still lies in the bedroom as well.
And Dilly is going to ignore the one that's on her belt, but she's going to grab the potion of healing that's in her bag, and she's going to drink it.
No worries. Roll a d20 to see if it does a max heal.
19! So fucking close!
No
And
max
that's
heal
what,
for you. So
No max heal
2d4
for
plus
me.
2.
2d4. So
Yep.
4 plus 3 plus 2, so that is 7 plus 2, that's 9.
So that'll bring you back to pretty much full, I believe.
Probably just under full health.
I'll remove the blood from your token because you know you're going to be less bloody now.
I'm pretty sure I'm caked in blood considering what I just
Yeah,
did.
yeah, but your wounds are gone to a point. So the combat has come to its conclusion. You are all now standing around, breathing heavy, sort of Dilly especially, even though with the heal you still feel the effects of it. The pain is still there. The wounds have closed. You're no longer with any sort of threat of bleeding out and dying. But you're all, anyone who took damage is going to be hurting no matter what. Mara, except for Marath, he just seems to, like, you can see he's got a wound and he's just not even worried about it. It's like it's that whole ain't got time to bleed kind of stuff. He's just not even phased. But it is now up to you what you wish to do. While you still got stuff you haven't seen. Your orders still stand.
Tolvir is going to say, Marath, I want you to stay here with Varus and Dilly. Oath and LV, I want you to go loot the bodies, see if there's anything of any value, and bring it back. And
Affirmative.
Tolvir is going to go to this body that is just behind where he is.
Yep.
And he's going to loot it, the one that he killed.
Yep.
And he's going to take off its robes, and he's going to cut off its arm and wrap the arm in its robes and put it in his bag.
No worries. Noted. So we'll just go around the group here. So we'll start with Tolby's just done what he's done. Dilly, what are you doing at this point?
I'm going up to Marath with the med kit. Even though I don't have medicine, and wherever I'm seeing injuries, I'm just wrapping.
She's going to
him up.
basically bandage him up. No worries. So roll a medicine check. We'll see how well Dilly does here. I mean, he's not badly hurt. You can see he's taken a little bit of damage, but he's not overly worried.
15.
15? Yeah, the basic wounds, easily enough dressed, and he's grateful for it. He's sort of, again, not very, like, super thankful, like, hey, thanks really much. He's just sort of grunts and sort of says, hey, cool, kind of thing. Like, he's no stranger to pain, and that you've seen the scars that he has, and he has many of them from years of battles and fighting. So orders stand that Varus and Mara stay with you here in this particular area.
The other one that I would also say as I'm doing that is tell Varus that if he's got a potion to drink it.
Varus is throwing up against the wall right now. Like, he's hand on the wall, head down, just vomiting after the display that Dilly's just done. He doesn't look too happy.
Oh, and the fact that he just killed someone.
That probably hasn't played well with him either. So what is Varus doing apart from vomiting heavily at this point?
He sort of drops his weapon and he wipes his mouth. He's like, I killed that man. He was ready to die, and oh my god. And then he sort of throws up again.
And Varus will continue to throw up until he empties the contents of his stomach completely. We'll leave you guys there for the moment, as you have your orders. Tolbear is ransacking the body and removing the arm of the individual. Again, not a task that needs a roll for. You got an axe, easy enough to cut it off. So, LV and Uth. We'll go with LV first. LV, as you move up and go over the bodies of the two individuals in the hallway, again, a scimitar each, simple robes, no gold, nothing of note on either of the bodies.
Alvi would say to the corporal, he'd say, anything specific you want me to take or leave the rest here?
Just basically want to take their weapons from them so that no other guard can come along and use them against us. Anything of value, I'm sure anyone would like, but we have no need to take it.
So Alvi would take that instruction, DM, and if you said the swords are pretty much, they're older, they're rusty-ish.
Yeah, they're very mundane.
Yeah, he would just stick like a blade in like a gap in the brick or something, or in a doorway, and just snap them off if he can.
Yep. Roll a strength check.
Oh dear. I'm going to use an advantage I have from Blue Jay before I even roll, because that's how we're supposed to do it.
Generally, I mean, I allow it after the fact too. I mean, I'm a little bit lenient with that where I probably shouldn't be.
How do I make a roll of strength check on this man?
Strength check on this, you for using your sheet.
Yeah, in the sheet. It highlights the 8, but it just clicks it.
Click on the word.
Okay, sweet.
And it'll give you a chance for the check or the save.
Sweet.
Yeah, that would be a fail. So
Jeez,
you jam it in the rock and you swing on it and it bows heavily, and then you just can't break it. It's just not going to break.
So, and LV knows he's not strong. He sort of goes, and he goes, malfunction. Strength servo's out of commission. So he just picks up all the swords and brings them back and dumps them at Tolby's feet.
No worries.
Because they will not fit in his back compartment.
No, they will not. No, they not indeed. Uth, where were you headed?
Into the
priest's room. Okay.
Did you say you headed into the priest?
He's heading into the priest. Yeah. So, what you see in this room here, Uth, as we had Commodore now can actually describe what's here. So we've got a bed. There's a wardrobe. There's a small blood-stained altar to the north of you there. 2 torn-up rabbit carcasses lie on the ground, on the floor near the wall, which you could see have been ripped apart by something. You can only assume maybe the hounds that were in this room previously. There is a chest that sits at the foot of the bed, and atop the altar a scroll of parchment bears... what languages does Uth read?
Now you're asking.
I could probably find out quicker than you.
Elvish and Nomish.
So it's something you cannot read. It's in a strange language, chicken scratchings to you. But you can look around at it. As you're looking over the body, is that what you're wanting to do? Check the body? Or are you going for the chest first?
The body.
As you look over his body, you find a key. And you find a heart, a human heart, forged out of solid gold. It's not 1-to-1 scale, so it looks like it's probably half scale, but it's weighty. If you wanted to roll an intelligence check, and I will give you advantage, as you're used to dealing with gold, to see if you can determine its value.
So advantage.
Advantage, yes. Just with your background. Ooh, look at that. 19.
The lowest one was an 18, so I'm happy.
Well done. So if you're holding this in your hand, you think, man, that's got to be easy 250 gold. Easy. To the right person. You don't know why he's got a solid gold human heart in his pocket, but it's easy money as far as you're concerned. And the key, you would know as only Uth would, that this has to go with that chest. There's no other reason for it. It has to go with the chest.
Yep,
So do you move over to the chest, Uth?
I do.
Do you unlock the chest?
Yes.
So you put your hand on the chest, you put the key in, it fits. You turn it, it gives up its secrets, and the lock opens. You open the chest. The hinges squeak heavily as it opens. It hasn't been opened for a little while. Inside this chest, you find a scroll of paper. It's rolled up on one of those wooden scroll holders. You also find 2 potion bottles. Look very similar to the potions that you have on your person, only slightly bigger and slightly darker in color. So I would imagine you've probably seen them. You would definitely have seen them in at the keep. So you would understand these to be potions of greater healing. So you can add that to your character sheet on D&D Beyond, and I will update your Foundry sheet at a later date. Easily enough. So the scroll, you're not sure what it is. The arcane words that are written on it, you have no understanding of the arcane language. There are some words in common that you pick up, but the words mixed with the arcane words mean nothing to you. It's definitely a spell scroll of some description. You're sure of that because you look at it and go, "Wow, that's fucking weird. It's got to be magic." And that is all you find in this room. I mean, clothing, like there's obviously clothing, more robes in the wardrobe, the bed linen.
So yeah, I'll take
it.
the parchment that's on the altar as well.
Okay, cool. So just make a note of that. And you head back. LV and Uth, you can head back to Tolvir now. Pretty much done that area. So that's that upper area pretty much taken care of. So from where you are, I'd say Dilly, Various, and Marius. From where you are, you can see there's obviously you've seen this bigger room down here. Open this other door to make it a little clearer. From where you are, you can clearly see there is documents of some description on this table. There's a dagger sticking out of the table as well. Uth just wandering around checking out stuff. That was just a bedroom, Uth. Nothing of interest in there. Just so you know.
I'm just following my orders.
Yeah, no. If you want to check out what's in there, you can. I mean, if you want to continue, that's up to you. You move into that room. Don't close the door. We'll open that door, eh? Move in. Here we go. The lights in this room are extinguished. You can't really see a whole lot. But you have the ability to light a torch if you wish.
Yeah, I'm going to do that when I get...
Right-click your token. Right-click your token and hit the little flame icon.
Oh. There we go.
So now you can see that this is this looks like a bedroom. Several bunk beds lined up against the wall. At the foot of each bunk bed is a little iron strongbox, wooden rack across the wall behind you there, holding more robes. And there's another door that exits to the south.
I'll search those chests or whatever they are.
Okay.
In front of the beds.
Again, no need to roll an investigation because you'll see what's in. Nothing's been actually hidden in them. There is 14 gold pieces, 63 silver pieces, and 4 copper pieces. Accumulatively across all 3 strong boxes. You also find another potion of regular healing, which is the 2d4 plus 2. It's the regular normal potion. You also find a small ring. Little silvery looking ring. Looks like it's got a green gemstone attached to it.
What was the coinage again?
14 gold, 63 silver, and 4 copper.
I'll leave it there and let the others have a chance.
At seeing the notes and everything, I wouldn't have seen the corporal come back down yet.
No, he's
I
probably
would've
still
gone-
at this stage still dealing with the body, just hacking and slashing with that
I
shit
would've
in his
gone-
bag.
Marith, with me. You keep holding up the wall. Various, you know. So
Can I
good.
come too? There's no dead bodies that way.
Gingerly.
There's
Gingerly.
papers. I
I
like
was about to
papers.
get them. So Jilly will cautiously go up with Marith behind her in case there's something happens.
Yeah.
And she's going to look at the papers.
Yeah, so Marif would put himself in a position there. He can see sort of both ways. And there's nothing here. You can see down here, it looks like there's an altar of sorts. I'll give you a description of this room. So the down in this area here, there's what looks like to be a kind of a obelisk of sorts. It's about 4.5 feet tall. It looks like it's covered in some kind of script as well. It's from your distance, you kind of can't make anything out, but it's definitely covered in something. What you find on this table, it's just a regular wooden table surrounded by 6 stools in the middle of this chamber. Atop the table, a dagger has been thrust into the wood through a scrap of parchment. What you see on the scrap of parchment is this. It's in common, and I'll read it out. To be captured or killed. Crabane Impious, half-elf, captured. Cadmus Maiden, Dragonkin, captured / killed. Zoran Maiden, half-dragon, captured. Galeborn Gilly, human, captured. Groog Slackjaw, Goliath, killed. Ildri the White, dragon, killed.
Folks, and Dilly's going to pull the dagger out of the table and have the parchment in her hand.
No problem, you can do that, and I will, at some stage before next session, will send that piece of parchment to you.
Yildri the White Dragon is... That's the leader of Paradigm, right?
Yeah, that's the queen.
Right?
Yeah.
Dilly's going to fold up the parchment and put it in her pack.
No worries.
And she's going to walk down to the obelisk and see if she can make heads or tails, if I don't collide with walls, make heads or tails of the script.
Okay, so I've sent you the piece of parchment and gilded.
Yeah.
So as you approach this obelisk, it's covered in bloody handprints, like in many different places. The script roll. Are you proficient in Arcana or the occult? I don't think. I don't think you're proficient. There's no occult roll, but yeah, I don't think you're proficient in Arcana yet. We're still working on that, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so this will be just a straight Arcana check.
Mhm.
Just to, are you touching it or just
17.
looking at it at this point?
So I'm just looking at it, hands off, and it's an 18 for
18?
an Arcana check.
Okay, so it definitely holds some form of magic. It appears to be emanating a weird noise, not unlike boiling water. But it's definitely magic around. You're not like, it's not magical, but it definitely has a magic feel to it. They were doing something with it, whether they were just praying to it, or you've never seen this type of script before. it gives you a very eerie feeling to even be close to it. Like it just feels dark. But that's about all you can, even with that high roll, that's about all you can really determine. You've not come across this type of script before.
Dilly is going to... Varius,
Yeah.
come here.
Uh-huh.
Notebook. You write your version, I'll write mine. That way we can't fuck it up when we copy what we're seeing. And she'll write in her notebook what she's seeing on the actual thing.
Okay, so
And has
what
asked
you're
Varius
seeing
the
is just,
same.
it's a mess of symbols. Like there's no order
She's
to it.
going to copy it down as
Yeah.
much as what she can,
Yeah,
as
so
she has
roll,
been
what do I get to
before.
roll? Roll performance check. Both of you, please. Ooh, that was close, Various. That was so nearly a natural one.
12.
12 and a 17. Even with a 17, it's hard to copy exactly what you see because, like I say, it's a mess of symbols. That like there's no set order to it. It's not set in a line or any kind of pattern. It's very random. Some symbols are crossing over others. You can give a real base description of what you see. You can kind of copy some of the symbols. Many of the symbols you just don't understand, just even by looking at them. But between the two of you, you've got a pretty good rendition of what you're seeing here, as best as you can make it anyway. I mean, you don't. I mean, you're gonna, and that's probably gonna take you an hour to do just with that. There's a lot that's covered from top to bottom, and it's on all four sides.
Oh.
So by this time, I'd say Uth and Tolvir, if you wanted to join the rest of them, you probably would have by now, knowing that pretty much these are the rooms that you've got. That pretty much all that's here if you've been walking around.
Tolvir would
Just
finish his bloody carving, and then he'd stand up and say, "Hey, Marath, can you break these weapons that LV dropped to my feet?" And then go, "Where the fuck is everyone gone?"
So, yes, Marath will make the strength check to break said weapons.
sorry, Eva, we both, Grim and I, lagged out for like
Okay,
20
cool.
seconds when you were talking, so...
No problem, I'll repeat that. Yeah, Marath can't break him either. He struggles.
Apparently it's not here anyway, because it buggered off.
Pretty much. But he couldn't break him even if he did. I mean, you can move around, Toby. I mean, you would have seen them walk away. You were right there.
Well, I would have been facing the other direction.
They weren't being quiet, and Dilly gave orders, so...
Yeah, when he gave the order, Alvy would have said, "Everyone is here, by the table and stools."
Except for Uth, who's wandering around doing his own thing.
Except for Uth, who's wandering around.
So notice Uth went northward. You want to put yourself right back to the door that you opened at the top, please, Uth, and stay there for me. Consequences for wandering off on your own.
I was following orders.
So
You were told to loot the bodies, not go into rooms we haven't secured.
so as you move northward, you move into that top room. First, I'm assuming you went into both rooms, judging on what I heard.
Yeah.
So what you find in here is pretty much both rooms are pretty much the same. 10 by 10 sort of bare cells fitted with iron doors. These look like a place where they would capture and hold prisoners, it seems. A real base bedroll on the ground, a bucket to piss in, and that's pretty much it. Very damp, very cold, but also very dark. The only light you get is from the torch outside on the wall.
Or the torch that I have lit.
Or the one you have lit, which you can turn off by doing the same thing, right-clicking and hitting the flame. You went through the northernmost door too, I assume? Or just those two rooms?
Just those two rooms.
Okay. And you went into the storeroom. So in here, what you find Roll an investigation check for me if you're actually going to look in this room.
I see nothing.
You see storage items, crates, barrels, all manner of things. You do see a crate, looks like it's got, again, some more weapons sticking out of it. Again, mundane weapons. You find a long sword, a short bow, a dagger. There's a cleansing stone and an arm blade dagger as well. The cleansing stone, it's just a smooth piece of stone. As you sort of pick it up and look at it, it's kind of got a weird texture, almost smooth sort of texture to it, and it smells kind of almost smells medicinal.
I'll pick that up and the arm dagger.
So the arm blade dagger.
Yeah.
Okay, so make a note. Don't put them in your inventory just yet. Just make a note that you've got an arm blade dagger and a cleansing stone. Actually, now you can put them in. They should be on D&D Beyond, so you can put them in if you want. You probably need a. I'd say Uth maybe would have used a cleansing stone before. So essentially, it's a bar of soap. That's exactly what it is. You can use a cleansing stone as a sphere with 1 foot diameter. Engraved with mystical sigils. When touching the stone, you can use an action to activate it and remove dirt and grime from garments and your person. It's basically prestidigitation in a stone. And I do believe it does not need a tuning. No, I don't think it needs a tuning. So. And the arm blade, the arm blade dagger is just should be under arm blade dagger in the list.
Chat can only see a black screen.
That's because I've clicked. It's because Uth, I think, buggered off and went down there. I forgot to move it. I moved the other one, not that one. Sorry, Chat.
I'll go join the rest of the crew and put most of the items on the table that's there.
What do you put on the table?
Hang on. Okay. In my notes, I'll put the 2 greater potions, the potion, the scroll, parchment, the gold, silver, and copper.
So, okay, you keep the cleansing stone and the arm blade.
I'm keeping the gold heart.
Okay, yep.
The ring.
Right.
The arm blade, and the cleansing stone.
You do that. So make a note of that ring because you got no idea what it is, whether it's worth anything or not.
So yeah, 14 gold, 16 silver, 3 copper.
63 silver.
63 silver.
Yeah, 4 copper.
Oh, someone else can write that down. 2 greater potions and 1 normal potion of healing.
Spell scroll as well.
Yeah, a scroll and the parchment.
Right,
I don't know what they say.
Over here.
Are you still carrying the torch that you lit?
Yes.
Why have you got a lit torch?
Because it's dark in those rooms.
You were told to loot the bodies, not the rooms. The rooms could be trapped or filled with people.
You said investigate. I investigated.
I said loot the bodies and collect the stuff and bring it back.
I collected stuff. I'm bringing it back.
Corporal, the private is arguing. Would you like me to severe punishment to him?
Punishment will be decided when we get back to the castle. Is this everything you found?
Yes.
Do I believe him?
Roll insight. Roll deception, Uth, because you are being deceptive. Both low rolls, but Uth, I mean, you know he's generally can be deceptive, but even with that, the roll is close. So I would say you believe him somewhat. we'll go down that route. I mean, you don't know he's outright lying, but you know, I think after this, even the small amount of time you've gotten to know him, you know he's a little shady. So there is every chance that he's stashed something. But at this point, he seems to be relatively truthful.
I can't see what do you call Varus, but I'm assuming he's still looking at the.
Virus is right on top of you, I think.
Oh, am I? Oh, sorry,
Yep.
I'm seeing.
You were on top of him. Alright, Virus is actually over here with Dilly at the moment.
Sweet. So what's on the table then?
Nothing's on the table because Dilly picked it up.
Well, no, that who said he put the stuff on the table?
Ah, the table, right. So there's a spell scroll, or was a scroll. Not sure what it is, but there's a scroll.
Yeah, spell scroll, piece of parchment, 14 gold, what was
63 silver,
63
4 copper.
silver, 4 copper. So yeah, 2 greater healing potions, 1 healing potion, scroll, parchment, gold, silver, and copper.
Now, examining over these things, if that's what you want to do, Tolvier, the parchment has the same scribblings that the monolith has that Dilly and Varus are looking over. Does anyone speak Abyssal?
No.
So none of you will be able to understand what any of these things mean.
Tolvia would say, so I'm assuming since that you put this gold on the table that you found something else, just because I know that he was sort of a gold person. I'm assuming you found something of more value.
Fine, all right. Put that gold heart there.
Clunk on the table was this, about half, like not say not 1-to-1 scale, so about half scale human heart.
Wow, that is not what I was expecting. Alrighty. Tolvia would take the healing potions and the whatever. I don't know. I can't remember. He'd leave the pieces of paper on the table.
So you got the money, the heart, the scroll, and the parchment.
So, LV, come here.
Affirmative.
Put the money and the heart into one of your secret compartments.
Affirmative.
Toby will take the potions and leave the pieces of paper on the table.
Okay.
In order to get Varus and thing to look at it, because everyone else just looked at them and not knowing what they mean.
Yep. No worries.
LV doesn't care for money, so what was the gold amount?
14 gold, 63 silver,
63 silver,
and 4 copper.
And
Don't forget the
Sweet.
4 copper.
I won't ever write anything down unless they give it to me. So
Yep, that's not a problem.
I didn't think you'd care about them, but I just figured I'd get you to carry them until
Pack mule.
sort of them.
yeah, that's right. Normally I would write it down. I'm a habit of writing things down. So anything that pertains for me, I'll write down. But when it comes to gold, LV won't write it until you give it to him, just so you're aware.
So you said 14, 63, and 4.
Yep.
Various. You making heads or tails of this?
It's kind of gibberish. I mean, I'm sure it makes sense, like, magically, but it's kind of all over the place, don't you think?
Yeah, I'm still researching. I'm not as good as what I used to be.
Yeah. Like, that symbol looks like it's on top of that symbol. You see that?
Yeah, and this one looks like it should be flipped the other way, but it doesn't quite seem right. It reminds me of something, but not.
Either they had poor penmanship, or it serves a purpose. I'm not sure which.
Penmanship. Are these in this carved?
It's a mixture
Dilly's
of
gonna
both.
take a closer look
Yeah,
to make sure.
it's a mixture of both.
Oh, we should probably put like what part is carved and what part is actually written.
What? Well, I think they had some information over there about something.
Do
We done
either of
here?
you touch the monolith while doing your drawings or workings or trying to
With
establish
Dilly's
what it
roll,
is?
with Dilly's roll, she and getting bad feelings, she just wouldn't, considering
Okay.
the amount of time she's flipped in and out
Yeah.
of an arcane thing.
So,
she wouldn't.
Various, do you touch the monolith at any time during this examination?
I tell you what I'm going to do for you.
You're gonna roll. You're gonna flip a coin, aren't you?
I was going to roll wisdom, but I can
Oh.
flip a coin.
You roll wisdom if you want. I'll set the DC. You set the DC for yourself because you know what you're rolling for. So you set your own DC.
10.
50-50. Here we go. Rob. A little bit more than 50.
Saving throw. Normal.
9. That would be a failure.
Yep, so he touches it.
So, as you touch it, you sort of you're looking at these strange markings, and you think, "It's just not right. It doesn't. Something's wrong." And you put your hand out to touch it. I need you to make a charisma saving throw, please.
Ooh.
And as Dilly sees him do that, she'll be going, "No, Various, no, oh, no, no."
Natural 20 on the saving throw. So you will take only half of this damage instead of all of it.
Which will probably still be enough.
It's not a huge amount. You'll take 1 point of psychic damage as the moment you touch it, the symbol that you put your hand on glows in a dark red purplish sort of hue, and then arcs out towards you, striking like almost like it strikes you right in the face, and you get this most intense headache.
Various, I know.
Are you guys all right over there?
Private, and I'm saying this as loud as I can, really loud. What did I say about touching things you shouldn't?
You guys would have all been aware of this. You're in the same area. It's not quiet.
I got a little distracted. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Unbelievably sorry.
And it is an order that you take that potion to heal whatever wounds you have, because I don't know whether he did or not.
No, I didn't. But it will
So
now.
she is now ordering him to do it.
So I roll my d20.
Roll your d20 first, yeah. Ooh, so close. So close. The Tolvir, you guys would all be aware of this, so what does Tolvir make of this whole situation? As you probably saw Varys step forward, put his hand on this thing, and it just arc out with this weird sort of dark energy.
I guess you'll learn not to touch strange objects after this.
Oh, go on, sorry.
No, that was it. I was going to say.
Okay. Corporal, we have recorded as much as what we can. Some of us have experimented. Can we, orders on what we should do with this now?
I suppose we could try and break it, but I mean, in general, if we touch it, it's probably going to hurt us. So, I'm not sure how you break a stone monolith. Any ideas on how to break something like this? And in general, if we try and break it, it may try and hurt us for doing it.
Mara speaks
How
up and simply says, Warhammer, mallet, usually
Your call, Corporal.
I mean, I don't have one, mind you, but that's what I would use.
I've got my axe. I might make it go dull if I whack it.
Could always use the butt end of it. Or is it double-headed axe?
I don't believe it is. It's got a knob on the other end.
A double-headed axe. Does that mean there's like a sharp thing on each side? I've heard of those kinds of things, but I've never seen one in person. Wouldn't it hurt if you accidentally dropped it on your foot and sliced your foot off?
I would assume so.
Yes, it is double-bladed.
Dilly's going to step back, because if they're going to break it, she don't want to be near them.
Yeah, I'm gonna go hang out with Marath now. That's alright with you, Corporal?
Yeah, well, I guess since Marath couldn't break the weapons, I guess I'll try it.
So you're going to try and destroy the monolith? So you're going to hit it with your axe?
Yep.
Roll to hit.
Let's go over there.
I mean, the DC's low to hit because it is a stationary object, but you still have to try and hit it.
Actually, I'm getting all the way down there.
Now, how do I attack something when I'm not in combat?
Roll a d20 for me. Just a new random rolls and just add your strength modifier.
Yeah.
Which I believe is +2? +3. So it's 12. So you hit it. It cracks against the stone. It does chip the stone. But you will need to make a charisma saving throw for me, please. As the axe strikes the stone, it chips the stone, and its energy builds and arcs back at you.
Yeah. Okay, I know how to do a charisma thing, but how do I do a saving throw?
So again, click on the word on charisma if you're in Foundry,
Here we go.
and it will give you the option. 18, you're good. You only take half of the damage again. So we're going to roll one of these. You'll take 1 point of psychic damage. Again, that same dark energy reaches out, snakes out towards you, and strikes you in the head, in the face and head area, and giving you, again, the most intense headache you've ever had. I mean, just for a split second, but it hurts.
It's gonna be like that, is it? Fuck you, I'm gonna hit you again.
Try and hit it again. So, D20 plus your strength again.
16 plus 3, 19.
Definitely hits. Roll a charisma saving throw.
Yeah.
That is a failure. You will take the full damage this time. You do crack it further, however. But you, again, take another point of psychic damage.
Corporal, stop. Get behind me. If I go down, one of you get me up, and she's going to stand here.
If you go down, I will assassinate.
What is Dilly
Thank
going to
you.
do?
Dilly is going to be an idiot, and a second level spell, she's going to cast Shatter on it. And she's going to be far enough away. Bearing in mind she's seen everyone else have magic, a magical psychic damage happen to them, so she kind of knows it's coming now.
So, Shatter. Just read off what Shatter is for those in the chat for us.
Okay. Here we go. A sudden loud ringing noise, painfully intense, erupts from a point you choose within range. Each creature of a 10-foot radius, sphere-centered excuse me, sphere centered on the point must make a Constitution saving throw. A creature takes 3d8 thunder damage on a failed save and half as much on damage on a successful one. A creature made of inorganic materials such as stone, crystal, or metal has disadvantage on the saving throw. A non-magical object that isn't being worn or carried also takes damage if it's in the spells. And I'm not sure whether that's actually
It'll take
magic.
damage.
Yeah.
It's
That's
definitely
why
it'll definitely take damage. So
Yeah.
cast your spell, Miss Dilly.
So it has to make a Constitution saving throw, and disadvantage if it's stone.
It does not have to make a throw at all. It's going to take the damage because it's not a living thing. It doesn't have a constitution. So it'll just take the damage. So roll the damage for me.
Oops, that's wrong dice anyway. Be nice, but that's 6 plus 1 is 13 points of thunder damage, and I'm standing
And the
far
stone,
enough away.
as the thunderclap rings out, as the stone cracks and breaks, the top of the obelisk, it almost splits in two and topples to one side and crashes to the floor. Nothing happens. Obelisk now stands destroyed.
Good job, Private. How's your head?
Actually, I don't know.
Surprisingly, you don't feel any adverse effects.
Noted.
casting of the spell.
Demotion.
Did I get
What?
any? My camera's being a pain. Did I get any chaos or anything like
No,
that?
no adverse effects at all.
Surprisingly, I'm okay. Have we searched everything, gotten all papers, gotten all books, information, everything like that from here?
There's some papers on the desk which Uth found, which I would like you to have a look at because I don't know what they mean, and nobody else seems to be able to read them.
Have we searched the entire place?
There might be rooms to the south. They're off the bottom of the map. I don't remember if they went that direction.
As far as you can tell from where you are, this is as far as you can go. The area here is dead end, some old tools.
If you
Easily
zoom
seen.
out, I'm talking about over here.
Oh, that's the edge of the map.
Okay, so
That leads back. That leads back to the barn. That whole area.
Okay, sweet.
Len, let's collect them up, Corporal, and I suggest we go to camp. Find a safe place outside of this place so we don't get ambushed.
I like that idea. Did you find anything else down here other than the monolith?
I will give you details when we get to a camp, Corporal,
Okay.
if you don't mind.
Okay, I'll take the papers that were left on the desk then and put them
Okay.
in my pocket.
So you had to have a piece of parchment with the same scribblings on that the monolith had, and a scroll, which is a spell scroll.
Did you see any more, maybe statues or something of historical significance? I'd really like to see them if there's some in here. I mean, we had the Order of the Lycan stuff in the other room.
Actually, no, didn't see any other statues. Like, you got 2 rooms up there, look like they were prison cells or something like that. Then you got the priest quarters and all the stuff that I found there's I put on the table.
Did you follow the path? Sorry.
And there's the storeroom as well.
Did you follow the path all the way through to where the pools of blood were?
No,
So there may be still further stuff up there then.
possibly.
Okay, we should probably go there and make sure there's nothing else alive down here before we leave.
So you won't have to move yourselves there. You moved to that part of the section. You were at the top end of that earlier in the piece, and you were sort of looking down the pools where that door that you saw was opened, and the guard came out and walked back. As you open that door, you can see that you open on a path in between the 2 pools, and the pathway just snakes back up to where the cage, where the dretches were, and back round to where you had been. No further cultists are found
I
anywhere.
realised that, but Tolby wouldn't have.
Yeah. So there are no other surprises apart from the dretches in the cage, and Tolvir would definitely understand that you don't want to let them out.
Is there any sort of weapons or anything in this sort of area?
It's all broken tools, chisels, hammers, shovels, brooms, things like that.
So those scimitars or whatever it was, the low quality things.
Yep.
Still
They're still worth something to sell, maybe, but like I said, they're just mundane weapons. They're not anything flash.
Sweet as.
They're definitely serviceable. So if you wanted to take them with you, that's up to you. I mean, you could sell them to a trader before you got back to the keep. You could take them to the keep. They may decide to sharpen them, clean them up, and use them. Who knows? Up to you.
Well, these things are obviously strong enough to not be broken by any of us, so we might as well just take them back with us. I mean, we'll be riding the goats home anyway, so the goats will be strong enough to carry us with them. And he'll bundle them up.
Yep. Again, easy enough to do. You could wrap a piece of rope around the handles and the blade to tie them together, and probably make a makeshift sling and sling them over your shoulder. I'd say Marath and Tolby were both strong enough to carry them.
Yeah. Tolby would just sling them over his shoulder.
Yeah, no drama.
So, alright, I agree with Dilly's assessment. We should go and make camp and...
Okay then. We will leave you guys there for a second. We're going to go back to here because nothing's really going to happen on your way out. Zoom in on here again. So, ladies and germs, you leave this area, leaving behind the wrecked bodies. Do you take any evidence of the cultists back at all, apart from the arm and the single robe that Tolby is carrying?
And a piece of skin in LV's backpack.
That too.
I would expect one of the parchment that I picked up might have some clue as well.
So yeah, so you don't take anything of the bodies is what I'm asking, apart from what you've grabbed already.
Where you go?
I was going to say Dilly probably would have cut off a finger.
I don't know if a finger would be sufficient evidence, but okay.
I'll get one of the robes, that way we can wrap the blades up in it.
Do you suggest that to Tolvier?
Yes.
Good idea. We should... actually, we should grab the rest that is a bunch of the robes just so we can show what we've done.
Okay, so someone marked down you have 7 robes, priest robes, and 6 cultists.
Before we actually leave, Dilly's going to go back to the body that she flayed. She's not going to take the finger, but she's going to do something else.
I don't know if we want to know.
I'm not sure you do either.
Yeah.
She's going to dip her hand in the blood of the one that she did, and she's going to write on the wall something along the lines of, and she'll probably do it in Gnomish.
Yeah.
Traitors.
Okay.
And leave.
Noted.
And leave as they go.
No worries. So you leave the cave area the way you came, back through the basement, avoiding the rotten floorboards through the barn, back out into the Bastion's courtyard.
Just as we're leaving the exit, I want to take the lock and I want to take the chain.
Yep.
I want to... Marath, can you just smash this door up its hinges? And if possible, we want to collapse the building just so nobody else goes in there.
Collapsing a building. That'd be interesting.
Or torch it.
You could probably set it ablaze easy enough, but collapsing it probably not so much. It's definitely a noisy job, as you can hear the creaks and groans and clicks and clacks in the background. But you do, if you were to set it alight, you've got enough torches between you that you could all light a torch and sort of wander around, setting old straw on a light, and the wood is rotten and powdery, so it would burn very easily and very quickly. So easily enough done.
Just saying to the group, just so nobody else comes along that falls through a floorboard. If they're not as tall as me, they might not get out, and if they go down the bottom, they might get stuck down there or hurt. For the good of the nation.
Do you stay and watch it burn?
I'd say we should stay until it goes out, just so that it doesn't burn the forest down.
Okay. So you would probably have to camp on the grounds of the bastion. I mean, it would burn quickly, but it would take a few hours for it to burn out completely. So that would probably bring you into the early evening, I would imagine. So you could sort of walk into the bit of the night if you didn't want to camp at the bastion itself. Up to you.
How do you guys feel about camping here for the night?
Considering they were locked in, Corporal, there's a chance that more people are going to come. I don't feel that comfortable, and before you would have lit it alight, or as it's burnt, I would have, over where the trapdoor is, suggested that Maras roll a boulder over it if he can find one.
Maras not that strong.
Not even to roll it?
Not something of that size that would take to cover
so
that.
it is actually
It's
quite...
a decent... if you were to burning the barn down, you would expose the natural entrance that was built over top. Like the barn was built over top of a natural entrance. So it would be I mean, you could find something, but it'd be pretty large. I mean, the rubble itself would probably be enough to cover the entrance to it. Unless someone knew it was there, they probably wouldn't find it.
Here's what I want you to do. I'll stay here. You guys go make camp and make yourself a fireplace. When I'm happy that it's gone out, I'll join you again.
Corporal, I do not like that idea. Would you mind if LV stayed with you?
I'd be able to carry LV when I'm flying, right? Because my size counts as...
How much does LV weigh? Is the point. LV is quite heavy.
LV is quite heavy. I believe it is 395
Yeah, I don't know that you'd be able to carry LV. He weighs more than you do.
And not to mention all the other stuff that you've been putting in him.
True.
320 pounds.
Yeah. So, I mean, Dilly, yes. Various, maybe. Booth, maybe. With a strength check.
113.
Yeah, I mean, those guys with a low DC strength check, Dilly, no problem at all, but LV, hell no. LV's way too heavy. Why noisy?
Boy.
There's other sort of standing buildings in the area, isn't there?
Most of them are in almost complete ruin. The only other standing building is the main manor house, which is like a 3 or 4 story mansion, and that's in pretty bad shape. Like, it'll eventually fall over. Like, it would not be safe to go inside.
What does Tolvir weigh?
Oh, fuck no.
He's like 290 or something.
Okay, just a little below.
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember. About that, something.
330.
230, yeah. I know it's just over 200.
Oh, he's just little.
Yeah, compared to you're little compared to him, but you're a lot heavier.
330. But
So he's about the same as me. Then.
That's right. Maras 290. I knew someone was 290.
That makes more sense. So yeah, you're actually 10 kg, 10 pound heavier.
Yeah. But my lifting weight makes me a class heavier, bigger.
So I think you. What is your lifting weight? So, yeah, because it's because of your skills, isn't it?
I mean, it makes me a class.
Let's have a
size
look at your
larger.
inventory here. Yeah, I'd still say you probably wouldn't be able to carry LV at his weight with what you carry, what you're already carrying, and what he's carrying. It would be. I mean, it'd be a strength check, but it'd be a high DC.
Yeah. You count as one size larger when determining your carrying capacity, weight,
Yeah.
or lift.
I still think the LV's just outside of that weight.
Sweetest.
Permission to stay with you, Corporal? I can be useful, I swear.
Okay, well, how about we...
I think Grim was muted with the headset.
Oh, we heard him.
No, heard him. Okay. You stay with me. Dilly, you're in charge of the group. Marath, take all these weapons I've carried. Go find a camp and set up a campfire. And we'll find you from the air when we're done. When it's finished.
Easily enough done. Again, no reason for any kind of survival checks or anything like that. You guys you've camped a few times now. You know what you're looking for. You walk for about an hour before finding a suitable area to camp. There's a small creek nearby. Probably 15-minute walk from the camp to replenish your water skins if you need to. You set up your tents. You set up a fire. You get it going. And after probably 2 or 3 hours, Tolvir and Various would join you. The fire went without too many hassles. There's not a whole lot around that could have caught. It's an outbuilding, a few old trees maybe, but nothing over the top. And you rejoin your crew, fluttering in from the night sky with Various. Make a quick strength check for me. I want to see what's going to happen here, just in case. If this is a natural 1, this is going to be funny as hell.
Nope.
Nah, you're good. 13. I set the DC around 12, 13, so you're good. He's heavier than he looks, but you manage okay with Various. Various, you probably enjoy it. It's something different. You're probably still feeling a little queasy, so you might still feel a little lightheaded and stuff from earlier. You're definitely getting hungry now because you emptied the full contents of your stomach earlier, so you're definitely starting to feel hungry. And the smell of a campfire with probably coffee brewing or even rations being cooked up as you guys fly in when you find the campfire from the air. Actually, roll a perception check for me. Various and Tolvir. Again, you will find the camp. This goes to how long it will take you to find it. Okay, so Tolvir, you're probably a little preoccupied carrying Various. You don't really spot it, but Various, you see the wisp of smoke just as the sun's starting to set, and as that sun disappears, as you get closer, you see the glow of the fire in a small clearing of trees.
They're down there. I think they might be cooking. Oh man, I'm hungry. Are you hungry?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Seen all this meat today.
Me?
Yeah, Dilly's making some sort of song and dance down the camp there. It's weird.
You don't see that every day. Dragon with... Actually, no, you do. You do see a dragon with a goat, don't you? More often than not. What was I thinking?
Well done. And that's what we'll call tonight's session, guys. We're right on, pretty much just about right on time. So, Mr. Steb, I saw you in the chat there. Yeah, it would have been awesome to have had you in, but unfortunately, yeah, you came back right at the end. If you want to, if you're available next week, we can still have you play out Marath at the Keep. If you're available, let me know. Because that would be kind of cool to have you actually play out Marath instead of me doing it. So let me know, DM me throughout the week and just let me know if you'd be available next week to play that out, because we'll have you guys get back to the Keep next week and we can play that out there. But guys, that is the end of tonight's session. Before we get into our moments, Culprid with the raid, and Twin Gats coming in with a raid as well, and Chromic with a host. So cheers guys for your bringing your communities over here to hang out with us while we play our D&D session, episode 11 of Shadow's Embrace. So before we leave, we generally go through and get some moments from our players, some moments that stood out from them. Chat, if you've got a moment that stood out to you, at Evldoa in the chat so we can read it out. We'll start with LV, as I know LV needs to take off. He has work early. So LV, a moment or two from tonight's session from you, please.
Well, poor Dilly and her unfortunate dice rolls.
I know.
I feel bad
Right?
for everything she tried to do. Yeah, it was. I don't know what it was. But I was doing really well with my dice rolls. Dilly was not, and I was like, "Come on, give us some luck, give us some luck." But no one in the chat helped her out. Well, not that I saw. And Varus's queasy stomach after making his pretty much like his first real kill, I suppose. But
Yeah,
that was a standout
that
moment.
would have definitely been his first kill ever.
And you know, it just makes sort of that realism of someone who hasn't been in battle and that before. So, and that'll be it for me. I won't take up too much more.
No worries, cheers, dude. And Durax, aka Corporal Tolvir.
I like LV's first attack on those two cultists, just cleaning them up straight away. One with a nat 20 is just like...
I know, right? They didn't have
blam,
huge hit
blam,
points,
and
so...
it's like, oh
yeah.
yeah, that's right. There's other stuff coming. Clean them out so quickly.
Yeah, that was some big attacks. There was some big rolls here. You guys did well.
Jelly butchering the body.
Poor Various. Anything else from Corporal Tolvier?
The guy runs into Dilly, Marath, and Varus out the hallway, and then just goes, "Oh fuck!"
That was going to happen. I mean, he runs down there, not expecting to see 3 individuals armed, just standing in the hallway. I mean, geez.
Yeah.
The perception checks were so low earlier. Like, that was terrible. My rolls were shocking. Dilly, a moment or two from you, please.
Obviously, Various losing his breakfast, and Dilly not exactly helping with that. And my rolls, and
I know.
in comparison to, you know, Baz's rolls, I'm like, oh my god, seriously. But yeah, those were probably, and also the Tolver conversation of, obviously you found something of greater value for you to give me this.
Yeah, you guys know Uth so well.
Yeah, it's like, obviously you've got something of greater value for this. So
Yeah.
that was the other one.
That was a good moment. And that deception check, the deception insight was like 2 apart. It was just so close. Yeah. Various.
I liked how Dilly went between the legs of that last guy, like that. You know, that equal.
It's like, nope,
sort of.
you're not getting through there.
Squeeze ahead. And I liked LV's crits, but I really liked the bit where it's like, if I go down, and then LV's like talking about his permission to kill him down. I'm like, what? I'm thinking, wait a minute, have we given like a weird instruction where if someone goes down, he's gonna kill one of us? So I'm like, uh-oh.
Correct. Watch the last 10 minutes of last week's
You
VOD.
watched the VOD last week and you'll understand exactly what he's talking about.
Oh man. Yep, that was hilarious though.
It was great. Anything else, Verios?
Nope, that'll be me.
That'll be you, Uth.
2 things I liked has already been said is the crits that LV did. Damn. we'll just send him in front for now.
Sneak attack,
Jeez.
man.
And-
Sneak attack on,
be that
yes.
way.
Sneak attack on a crit is just, adding that extra damage is crazy as an assassination rogue.
And Various and his first kill.
Yeah, well done, Mr. Grimm. You played that very well. And actually, the one moment for me too is the self-wisdom save on the monolith from Varus as well. Believing that he would be that inquisitive that he would want to touch it makes sense to the character, and I let him set his own DC, and he still failed the roll, so which is awesome. It made perfect sense. no moments in the chat that I can read. That's cool. So yeah, so we'll be back again next Sunday for more Shadows Embrace. But as I said earlier, guys, 3 weeks time we will be putting a pause on Shadows Embrace, and we will be moving into season 3 of Vampire the Masquerade, Blood and Belief, Vampires of Melbourne. 5th of June is when that'll start. So all players will need to we will need to organize a catch up at some point in voice, whether it's in video or in Gilded, and recap the last session, because my god, it's been a while, so we probably need to recap that and figure out what happened, remember sort of what happened, and move forward from there and get everything organized. All the overlays are done, all the character portraits and everything have been done, the intro's been done, so we just need to organize maybe maybe the Sunday before, instead of having a Shadows Embrace, we do a VTM call instead. So I'll put that into the VTM and the Dragon Scale Militia and the Gilded. So keep an eye on those. There's 2 groups there, guys. You guys are tagged in it. I will make sure that information's out so we know what we're all doing. I think Yanti's the only one that's not in the Gilded, but I think Sadiq is. So if Sadiq, you can pass that information on, or Yanti, you can join the Gilded. Exclamation Gilded in the chat. We'll give you that information, because as of tonight, my Discord server will cease to exist. I'm deleting my Discord server and switching fully over to Gilded. So be aware of that, guys. It is an application to join. Don't panic. Everyone will get accepted. It's just a process they use over there that makes it a little bit easier than the direct link. The direct link's a bit finicky. So that's us. I'll be back tomorrow with some map making, carrying on with the Curse of Strahd stuff, and also going over the Gilded, so that if you want to sort of learn where things are a bit easier, come and hang out with me tomorrow night and I'll run through it, run through the different channels I've got and how I've set it all up. So cheers chat, cheers players, thank you so much for hanging out. I'm going to switch that off so I can do a raid thing over here. And who are we going to raid, guys? If you need to take off, Baz, yeah.
I'll see you later. Yep.
Cheers, buddy.
I'll get the XP off here later on.
Yep, we'll do that beginning in the call before we start next session.
Cool, cheers, man.
I'll work it out. So, who are we going to rate? We got Josie Poser, Wettest Orb is playing as well. I think we rated those guys last week. So, Stormy Dragon's Tavern's on again. What are they up to? Episode 27 on Trials of Zelnarai, which I think is a homebrew, I want to say. I think we'll raid them. Yeah, we'll raid those guys. They've been going for about an hour. I think we raided them before, but we'll raid them anyway. So, that being said, as I said, guys, come back and see me tomorrow for some map making stuff. And Wednesday for the mini adventure. Moody, what's up? Don't forget to come back and see us again for the Into the Snake Pit mini adventure on Wednesday night with Grim, Drax, Nutty, and Mr. Dill Cribble. Coming and hanging out with us for that. That'll be a bit of fun. They had an interesting start to the session. And we'll see how they go with the next session. Right, that's us. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for hanging out. Go follow everybody who's in here. You know who they are. You know who the streamers are. Go follow everyone. And we'll see you Monday.